Hello, viewers. Welcome back once again to our series of Love for No Reason. And today we are considering the myth of love. The first myth we are looking at is the myth of romantic love. Romantic love has long been humanity's favorite drug. The romance there. It triggers the brain to serve up a powerful hormonal cocktail, including the hormones like dopamine, adrenaline, and oxytocin which grant you to send one soaring. So if you're a love junkie, it's because you're addicted to that love high and you're craving for that adrenaline rush kind of love chemicals. So when your body builds up with tolerance to these chemicals, you begin to require more and more of them to get that same high. You may go through relationships after relationships to get yourself what feast, which is not really good, and that's why we say that kind of love is good, it's better for relationship, but when it's not sustained with a higher love, it becomes lost because when you don't get it, you force yourself to get it, which is not right. So while romance is certainly part of the whole love equation, our obsession with it has taken our attention off a bigger, more fulfilling love. While romantic love is enjoyable, is pleasurable, it pales in comparison to the state of higher love that we're supposed to be living in, which is God's own kind of love. We look outside ourselves thinking that romantic love will complete us, which is not true. That's why you see many people, they start a relationship, especially those that are into boyfriend, before they cut off because the romance has ceased, the romance is not there. Even in marriage, when the higher love is not there, once the romance will cease one day. So you need the higher love to break forth from it. So what can we do to break free of this myth? The answer is a 180-degree turn in our approach to love, which means overriding our societal conditioning and making a habit of connecting with love inside ourselves. That's why we treated the love that we as a human being have the entity to love yourself. Remember our opening verse in Matthew 22 verse 39, you shall love thy neighbor as thyself. So relationships based on this inner love are naturally more fulfilling. We owe no one anything. Where the romance is there, you are the one self that we tried with the love of God there, the romance there will be more beautiful because it has a sustaining capability. It's not self-made. You're not doing it to feel that rushing. You are loving and you're romantic in your relationship because that's the way God wants you to love. So we like to listen to an audio from one of our love inspirator, Lady Green. After that, we look at the second myth of love. So we'll try to listen to this audio and pick something that is good.
When I was 25, I worked at Vogue magazine, New York City's bastion of image, luxury, and desire. Despite all the beauty and romance we sold as a magazine, there was very little beauty or romance in the environment. Instead, it was a hectic place with lots of pressure and competition. I was a stressed-out editorial assistant and I quickly befriended one of the other young assistants, a beautiful woman named Sarah. She was African American, petite and sexy, with a tribal head wrap and funky Adidas sneakers. Like many 20-somethings in Manhattan, what Sarah and I wanted in addition to our hotshot jobs was a super-duper romance, a blow-your-mind boyfriend. Candidates for this job were few and far between, especially in the headquarters of fashion. Yet when we'd talk about our desires, I was always surprised by Sarah's attitude. She wouldn't join in on my loop of, where is he? Life's a bummer without him, boo-hoo, about our inability to find the one. Quite the opposite. Anytime I started going there, like a little songbird, Sarah would start to trill, I don't need a man to feel love. Life is my lover. Then she'd grab an imaginary microphone and sing a Stevie Wonder song or something equally upbeat, getting me to join her. I had never heard anyone say that before. I remember thinking, yeah, right. But at the same time, my deeper self knew instinctively what she meant and it tickled me. How fun it must be to go through life like that, I felt. What adventures might I have? I started jumping on board with that attitude, or at least aiming for it. Life became a charmed game. Sarah introduced me to a new way of looking at the world, through a much bigger lens of love. Today, although Sarah is happily married with 2 children and I haven't found my super duper romance yet, we both still feel that life is my lover.
Okay, so hope you were able to get something from the audio. So whenever you feel high or as a single person, you feel you're not getting the love you need, you can always adopt the motto that says, life is my lover. The second myth, we have the myth of I'll love you if. Another common misunderstanding about love is that I need to agree with you, approve of you, or like you in order to love you, and vice versa. When someone doesn't match our template, we call the whole love deal off. Some of the conditions we place on love are: I will love you if you share my values, you give me what I need, remember my birthday, you are not too fat or too skinny or bad or whatever, if you love me in return. And mostly for teenagers or adolescents or young boys or girls that like doing boyfriend and girlfriend, I will love you if you give me yourself, if you give me your virginity, if you sleep with me. My dear, that is a myth, and it doesn't define the true love we are talking about. So it takes a lot of energy to try to control others so that they will give us what we want or need. And still, no matter how hard we try, we can't get them to do it perfectly. So there are always times when we withdraw our love, and in these conditions or situations, both sides lose. Loving people doesn't mean you have to enjoy their company, want to see more of them, or even respect their values. It means you are willing to keep your heart open to them, show them compassion, and accept them for who they are. Now, for example, you can find a picture of someone who really pushes your button, who really makes you angry, who two of you don't walk the same path. Maybe a certain type of person that you judge, or someone you know personally whom you have difficulty accepting. You can put the picture somewhere you will see it every day and let it serve as a reminder of the ideal to love more unconditionally. So I hope you understand the second myth of love. The third myth is the myth that love makes you weak. That love makes you weak. We believe that love will make us sentimental and that people who live from the heart are somehow vulnerable and weak. We've lost sight of the numerous strengths of love because something is gentle and soft, we think is less powerful. But the tide chain says the softest of all things overrides the hardest of all things. The softest thing in the world is an open heart, and the hardest thing in the world is a closed, constricted heart. And the open heart welcomes everything, and in doing so grows in power. That's why in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 3, the Bible said, blessed are they that are pure in heart, for they shall see God. Because God is powerful, God is great, God is love. You need to have pure heart for it to be open. So it does mean being anchored to the state of love while you take appropriate action, which could be standing up for yourself, holding boundaries, righting wrongs, ending a relationship, or saying no. All these things are anchored to a state of love. Open-heartedness may not always mean being loved in your manner, but when you are being loved, you are strong and able to do whatever is right in the moment while staying connected to your heart. Once you break free of the love myth, you begin to see that love is everywhere. In fact, every experience we have is an invitation to love. Even when we hit up against our enemies to love, love continues to knock at our door, and it's up to us to hear and respond. It's true that not everybody will accept love. There are people that are like that. When you're trying to rewrite wrong, they will see it as hate, or that you are despising them, or they will even pick offense because you're not agreeing with them. But like we have had now, love should make you strong and not weak. And love should make you to correct the wrong things that people are doing and stand on your rights. Now ask yourself, is love knocking at my door? Have I put limits on love that may be blocking it? What myth do I believe that might be hindering my ability to love more fully? Especially for this last one that say love makes one weak. When you're trying to stand for your right or whatever, people tend to bring you down or call you weak. Or sometimes you feel that you're not loving enough. But that's why your heart is the center of this love. So when your heart is okay and you believe, you know that what you're doing is right and it's coming from a place of love, even though it will take others time, they will still understand and come to a reasonable, point of what you're trying to prove to them. Now, pure unconditional love is the highest frequency of vibration there is. The more you experience love for no reason, the more habituated you become to living at a high energetic vibration, and the greater your effect on the world around you. When we radiate love, we send out a powerful vibration that impacts all other life forms. That is, it impacts on the humans, on animals, even on plants, everything around you, it impacts on them. So that's it for the 3 minutes of love. What we are going to look at next is love is letting go of fear, which is very important. It's been it's been long acknowledged that there are just two primary energies in the universe: love and fear. Everything that's not love, that is anger, hatred, hurt, sadness, guilt, frustration, is a form of fear. Love and fear have two very different effects. Love expands you, while fear contrasts you. Check it out for yourself. Just for 10 seconds. Think of a situation in which you feel afraid, angry, or hurt. You notice that what happens to your body, your posture, and your breathing. Now, switch gears and for the next 10 seconds, think of a situation in which you feel love. Again, you notice that what happens to your body, your posture, and your breathing. See, they are very different. And the lovely part of it, you see that you feel secure, feel happy. Having judgment about ourselves or others or feeling unworthy shuts us down to love. We get lost in fear and pain and we lose touch with the essence of who we are. This drives us to look for love from the outside, which can't make us happier or healthier for long. Any temporary satisfaction, like a sugar rush, evaporates quickly, leaving an even bigger vacuum in its wake. So, according to Marion Williamson, in her classic and life-changing book, A Return to Love, love is what we were born with. Fear is what we have learned here. Remember last week we said that we talked about God is love. And if each of us have this love in us, because that's what God created us with. So fear is what we have learned here. That's why the spiritual journey is a relinquishment or unlearning of fear and acceptance of love back into our hearts. And that's why God is love. When you have Him, He will really change you and mold you to His own way. Love is our ultimate reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others is the meaning of life. So hope you get this point. So the last thing we are going to be looking at in this video is the anatomy of the love body. Just as we feed our physical body food and water to nourish it, the love body flourishes on a steady diet of love. According to many different wisdom traditions, we have 7 main centers in our energy body. These energy centers are located in a vertical column from the base of the spine to the top of the head. Each energy center is like a doorway to love. The energy of love flows into our lives through the following 7 doorways. The first doorway is the doorway of safety, being in the here and now. So this doorway is connected to the energy center called the safety center, which is located at the base of the spine and is related to feeling safe, secure, and grounded. Then we have the doorway of vitality. This is connected to the energy center called the vitality center. It's located in the area of the sacrum or lower abdomen and is related to feeling vital and alive, both physically and emotionally. The third doorway is the doorway of unconditional self-love, loving yourself no matter what. This doorway is connected to the energy center called the unconditional self-love center. It's located in the area of the navel or solar plexus and is related to feeling empowered and worthy of love. The fourth doorway is the doorway of openness. living with an open heart. This doorway is connected to the energy center called the openness center. It's located in the heart and is related to being open to fully giving and receiving love. The fifth doorway is a doorway of communication, coming from compassion. This doorway is connected to this energy center called the communication center. It's located in the area of the throat and is related to being able to listen and express ourselves from a place of love. The sixth doorway is the doorway of vision, seeing with the eyes of love. This doorway is connected to the energy center called the vision center. It's located in the middle of the forehead, also called the third eye, and is related to the intuition and the ability to see inner and outer truth and beauty. Then the seventh and the last doorway is the doorway of oneness, connecting to wholeness. This doorway is connected to the energy center called the oneness center. It's located at the top of the head and relates to feelings connected to the larger whole. That's where you feel connected to God, to the spirit of God, to a higher self, to nature, to the divinity, and to the universe. So hope you get those 7 doorways. This is just the highlights. So in conclusion for today, when a center is healthy and strong and we experience the quality related to that center, the doorways to love is fully open. When the center is imbalanced or weak and we aren't experiencing the quality related to that center, the doorway is partially or fully blocked and our ability to love is what hindered. So this is where we're starting to. So we'd like you to join us next week as we'll consider the heart as the master command center for love, and then we'll start dwelling in each of these love. We'll pick the first doorway, the doorway of safety. We'll talk about it and you really understand what it means to open your heart to the center of what safety. So hope you've been blessed by this video. Remember what we have taught today. We've talked about the myth of love. We talked about letting go of fear so that the love will blossom, and we highlighted on the anatomy of the body and the 7 centers or the 7 doorways that lead to the 7 centers that gives rise to loving for no reason. So that is what this topic is all about. When we understand the 7 centers, we know how to work out the love embedded in each of them. So I believe you've been blessed tonight. Do well to like, share, subscribe, and we would love to thank you and have a lovely day.